Hats off. Hey there, YouTube. My name is Skeej, but you can call me Tony. And this is another terrible movie review by this guy.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So I think it's safe to say that Marvel has had a track record of some highs and lows in the past few years. You might get something like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but then you also get something like Captain America Brave New World. And for a Marvel fanboy like me, I usually find myself having a good enough, okay time with their not so great movies, and then just completely loving their hits. Well, I'm glad to say that Thunderbolts is a hit. I love this movie. This is a great movie. I went to go see it Thursday night with my husband. We both just had a blast. It was a great time. If you look online, the critic scores are also saying that this is a great movie. A lot of people take critic scores on Rotten Tomatoes at this point with a grain of salt. Sometimes it seems like those sites do not know what they're talking about. I totally get that. But in this instance, I think they got it right. It is a great movie. Some people are saying that it's one of Marvel's best. Some people are saying it's okay, but maybe not their best. I'd like to think that I'm somewhere in the middle, leaning more towards their top tier best. I'm not seeing too many reviews where people are saying that this is a bad movie. Maybe just one or two here and there just saying that it was boring. It doesn't have like the action that they're used to in a Marvel movie. And I would agree. This is not a action-packed movie. Now don't get me wrong, there is action. This is a Marvel movie. It's a superhero comic book movie. But for a movie about a group of individual misfits that are anti-heroes that usually just punch and shoot their way out of everything, it's just not wall-to-wall action. There is action, it's just not wall-to-wall action. That's not what this movie's about. This movie's not here to give you action-packed fighting scenes for 2 hours. This movie is actually here to make you feel, to make you emotional, but yes, also to throw in some spin kicks and CGI explosions. So Marvel has had a bit of bad luck recently, with a lot of their movies just bombing at the box office. From what I see from these numbers, it looks like it's going to be doing okay. It may not be the mega hit that Marvel is used to in the past, but with their current box office numbers, it's looking like this movie might actually come out a hit for them, which is what they really need at the moment. And that's good. I want to see Marvel succeed. I love the Marvel movies. I want everything to continue. Even though apparently that sounds like talks are that after Secret Wars everything's going to reboot and start all over. But I mean, after what are they going on 17 years now of just putting out content like crazy? I mean, at some point I do understand that they need to take a break, maybe reset and just sit on all this Marvel content that they have, just sit on it for a very long time, because I do get that people need a break. I mean, not me. I can go again. I could probably go week after week just watching Marvel put out the same crap over and over again. I probably wouldn't even notice. Yes, I know, I have a problem. I'm not going to work on it though. So what makes this movie great in my eyes is that this movie feels like a return to form for Marvel. Maybe not the whole Marvel universe as a whole or anything like that, but this movie to me felt like the MCU of yesteryear that I remember being so excited for, being excited for what comes next after this. So when I say that this is a return to form, I'm not someone that's going to jump up on a roof and start shouting, "Marvel's back, baby! Woo!" That's not what I mean at all. I don't know if Marvel can ever reach the heights that it did before. And this movie is not going to basically reset everything to be great again. But when I used to watch the MCU, all the movies coming out, when the MCU was small, you had one Iron Man, you had one Captain America, one Hulk, one Thor. It was very small, contained, and then the MCU started to grow. Suddenly you had a group of lovable space rogues trying to protect the galaxy, a master thief who was a good dad that can shrink down and do little crimes and heists, and a son dealing with his father's death and becoming king and trying to protect his techno-futuristic country from being destroyed. And so you start to add all these new ideas and characters and settings and tones into the MCU, and you feel like you're getting something new and something growing. And it kept growing until it had no more room to grow. And then it started to feel like Marvel was just chasing its greatest hits. Well, with Thunderbolts, That's not the case here. It doesn't feel like it's chasing after anything. It feels like it's once again adding something new to the MCU. And that's where I feel like it's kind of that Marvel of yesteryear that I remember. This felt like it was just a little bit different, so it was newish and it had something to add to the MCU. And what was that thing it added? Freaking awesome, stupid characters. Just a group of misfits, Marvel's B team that had no business being together, probably no business being the guys to save the day, but they did. And they play that role so well, just all of them together. Just they do feel like misfits that do not belong, being the guys that are gonna save everyone. It had a feel of Mystery Men to it, and I loved it. It definitely felt like Mystery Men. God, everyone in this movie is just great. I mean, Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova. You're not going to tell me you're going to get a bad performance out of Florence Pugh. She's just always great. She's given 110% every single time. So that's a no-brainer there. She's dramatic, funny. It's always good. And then you got David Harbour as the Red Guardian. That guy is he is definitely one of my top favorites in the MCU. I mean, his accent, his love for fame and glory, his not stupidity, but he's not playing the straight man. So he's just so much fun. I'm so glad that he is a part of this team, because he is so glad that he's a part of a team. I mean, that's not a spoiler. You see it in the trailers. He's just always 110% happy to be saying the name of the team, just really just giving it his all, and I loved it. Hannah John Kamen, that's the Ghost. I was so ready to just write this character off, because all I remember in is Ant-Man 2, and that is just what are you gonna do with this character? She's sad that she is gonna phase out of existence. There just wasn't much to go off of at the time. But with this movie, she's just a thorn in John Walker's side. Her and Yelena, they just are always just cutting him down, and his freaking arrogance and how stupid he is, even though he is capable and competent. I'm glad they brought this character in, and they just didn't write her off after Ant-Man. So that was a lot of fun. Speaking of John Walker, Wyatt Russell. I thought he was going to be more of a punching bag. They kind of do go that route a little bit, of his arrogance and him just kind of always trying to relive his glory. But you do see that he is pretty capable and competent. He's no Captain America, but he does, for the most part, know what he's talking about. He does know how to get out of situations. He's not just a punching bag. He's just maybe a little over arrogant sometimes, and people just have to kind of maybe put him back in his place, or just kind of try to lower his ego. But yeah, John Walker, he's a badass with an ego issue. And then of course you have Sebastian Stan as Bucky, and to me, he is really just the star on screen that you want to watch. He is the guy. Man, that guy just. And he's ferocious in this movie. His fighting style, it seems like he hits harder, maybe goes for more brutal shots. I don't know. He just seems like he's fighting to break bones. Like he's not holding back his punches. Yeah, he's just so awesome. And god dang it, now he's gonna be my new go-to in Marvel Rivals. I really got to get some practice in with Winter Soldier, because he is such a badass. So then you have Lewis Pullman's character as Bob. And for all the praise I was singing about the rest of the group, Bob is definitely my favorite of this entire movie. I freaking loved just Bob's character as a whole. He is just so likable, just so gosh dang sweet. He is just amazing to watch on screen. I freaking loved Bob. He's funny too. He's just freaking funny. It's just, what a funny person just to be along for the ride. Oh my gosh. Let's see, is there anyone else I forgot? Oh my gosh, yes, Taskmaster. I'm gonna get into spoilers now. So, time for the red walls to start coming up. This is the spoiler section. You just have to. It can only be done in spoilers. Everyone good? We all good? Okay, so this is the spoiler section, and what I have to say about Taskmaster is nothing. Nothing. what do you say about a character that's on screen for like 2 minutes? I don't I don't know why they put her in the promotions as a Thunderbolt. She wasn't even there to be part of the formation of the team. She's really just there for 2 minutes as, I guess, just a notable name. Like, hey, you remember this character, right? Might as well just throw one in. It really is just a cameo at best. Oh man. So this movie's whole plot kind of centers around Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character Valentina. She's being impeached for her work with a shady corporation, the Ox Corporation, I think they called it. They're starting up a century program. So she's trying to scrub her hands clean of being a part of this Ox program thing. So what she does is she sends Yelena, Ghost, John Walker, and Taskmaster to this compound to kill one another without their knowledge. She's basically playing all of them, saying like, "Oh, this person's gonna be there that's trying to steal secrets from this compound. I need you to go and execute them and retrieve the secrets." None of them knowing one another that they're all there to just basically kill each other. So there's the whole fight scene that you see in the trailers. It pretty much ends with Taskmaster, I think, trying to walk off thinking that she's gonna, and Ghost just phases in and pops her right in the head. It's it was kind of surprising. It was pretty abrupt, but yeah, it's just one right through the head, and Taskmaster's done. That that's it for the old Taskmaster. But yeah, in this fight, as we see, they end up coming upon Bob in a shipping container thing. They have no idea who he is, but they don't have time to really ask questions because the whole compound gets locked down and is going to be incinerated from the inside. But luckily, they all work together to get out before they get burned alive. And it seems that Bob is just a normal human with some amnesia, that he has no idea what's going on, who these people are, where he is. But then you start to realize there's something going on because every time he comes into contact with one of the three remaining characters, they kind of get a heavy flashback of a horrible moment in their lives, or something very traumatic. For Yelena, she gets the memory of being a little girl in the forest, lowering another child into the forest to be executed. This is part of her Red Room training from when she was a child. And for John Walker, he flashes back to the moment his wife left him. He was so caught up in his public image after his incident with the Flag Smashers and him being stripped of his Captain America title, he just starts to neglect his wife and their kid. So it's pretty messed up. These are some deeply flawed characters. So yeah, Valentina finds out that they escaped the incineration and sends a whole strike force after them. And it all culminates into an action scene which really shows that these people just do not know how to work together. I think they're just all better as working as individual contract killers. They're all trying to make their own individual plans to have everyone do this, this, and this, but each one of them's just like, no, that's not going to work, so I'm going to do this, and you're going to do this. They just do not work well together. And it shows. Their plan is a mess, but they are able to escape, but Bob gets captured. Bob gets captured and is revealed to be the Sentry. He gets riddled with bullets from Valentina's strike force, and at first it looks like he's dead, but no, he's bulletproof. But he doesn't know how to control his powers or anything. He doesn't even know he has powers. He has no idea. So yeah, he's captured. Yelena, John, and Ghost are able to escape, and they are picked up by the Red Guardian in his sweet limo. He's got his own limo service going on, and god damn, just the Red Guardian in a limo. I don't know why, it's just funny. It's stupid but funny. So they're taking off in his jalopy limo, and they get pursued by more Valentina's men and trucks. But luckily, the Winter Soldier comes to save the day. And honestly, it's a pretty awesome action scene. He's just so tactical and just like a one-man wrecking machine. And basically, Red Guardian has the same reaction I do when I see the Winter Soldier. God dang it, I love it so much. But you find out, yeah, the Bucky, he's not there to save the day. He's actually there to apprehend them and bring them in so they can testify against Valentina. But they say, no, we can't go right now. We have to go back for this guy, Bob. There's something going on there. We got to figure out what's happening. So Now there's 5 of them all teamed up: Bucky, Yelena, Ghost, Red Guardian, and John Walker. Oh, I don't know how I forgot this. The name the Thunderbolts isn't a a play on William Hurt's character. It is not. It's not for the reason you think. It's actually named after Yelena's childhood soccer team. I don't remember who decided to say that they were going to start calling themselves the Thunderbolts. I know it was a joke at first, and then they said it, and then Alexi just starts going along with it and just keeps saying that, yeah, we're the Thunderbolts, and god dang it, he just loves being a part of a team. He just loves being a part of something, so he's just proud as heck to be a Thunderbolt, and he just loves it. This movie, Alexi, Red Guardian, and Yelena, like that, he just really feels like that is his little girl, and he is so proud of her, like everything she does. Again, this is an emotional, sweet movie, so it's things like that just make this feel more like it's a dramedy than just a straight up standard action comic book movie. But anyways, they go to save Lewis Pullman, who has been kind of not brainwashed, but convinced by Valentina that, like, you're the Century, you have these great gifts, and I'm going to help you. We're going to make the world a better place. And the people that you were with, they may have seemed like friends, but they're not good people, so stay away from them. So this is where the Thunderbolts head up to Avengers Tower, where Valentina is. And this is where we get our first look at Century. And it's a little odd. You get used to it pretty quickly. I think it's more just because they dyed his hair blonde to match the comic book character. But he does look pretty good. It's just a little odd because he just had brown hair like the entire movie, and then it's blonde all of a sudden. But what I love about this, the Sentry is basically an unstoppable machine. He is so strong, he can probably kill these guys just with his thumb if he wanted to. He just can just... And they say, he's supposed to be stronger than all the Avengers combined. He is that strong. But when they have a fight between the Thunderbolts and Sentry, you'd think that, okay, he's just going to wipe the floor with them real quick. They're just going to be blood splatters all across the wall. That's not the case because he doesn't want to hurt these guys. If anything, it looks more like self-defense. He is throwing some punches and he is hurting them, but not to the extent that he could. He's just more kind of defending himself and throwing them around a little bit and maybe hitting them and stuff, and he hits them hard, but he doesn't kill them. So I did like that, yeah, this guy is insanely strong. He is basically like a Superman, but he's just basically pulling his punches. He doesn't want to hurt people. He's not there to be the strongest guy imposing his power, because that's not the guy that Bob is. And he liked these guys, even though John Walker was kind of an ass to him. He still likes them. So yeah, he sends the Thunderbolts running. They are just beat to a pulp. And Valentina's like, okay, we'll go after them and finish the job. I need these guys gone. And he straight up tells her, he's like, no, they're not a threat. They don't pose any threat to me. But it's at that point that he starts to realize that, wait, maybe this chick is a threat. She seems to be like really just trying to control me and get in my head. So he tells her, like, I'm a god. I don't need you controlling me. And it looks like he's about to end her. But they put a failsafe in his head, a little button switch that they have, like detonator. And it kind of looks like it melts his brain. It reminds me of Black Bolt from Multiverse of Madness. It looks a little bit like that. So that puts down Sentry, but not for long. It actually just unleashes the Void, which is basically Bob's dark half. See, Bob is not a well-adjusted individual. He has issues. He had a horrible upbringing. So mentally, he has a lot going on. And the Void is basically what happens when you give superpowers to someone who's mentally unstable. The Void comes out. And we see this in the trailer. This is where he turns all black and he starts to put a black cloud over New York, freezing everyone into black shadows. And this is the final stand where the Thunderbolts all group together. They head into the black shadowy void to try to get Bob out of there. They know he's trapped basically in there. That's not, the Void isn't Bob, even though it is. And when you enter the Void, it's basically just your own personal hell. And it's like a maze of individual rooms that just show all your darkest, tormented, messed up memories. And you gotta just kind of navigate through to find whoever you're looking for. Well, they find Bob, they try to get him out. And while this is all tense and dramatic and stuff, they do have one moment where they go through one of Bob's memories, and he's in a chicken suit doing the sign waving, but he's high on meth. I never thought I'd hear someone say that they're on meth in a Marvel movie. I just didn't seem like it would happen, but they did. So they're in Bob's memory in this room, and chicken meth Bob just starts laying waste to the Thunderbolts, and they're just getting pissed off at regular Bob, like, what the hell is this? And he just starts screaming out, I'm sorry, I was on meth. Fucking funny stuff like that, man. I think it's just funny because I just wasn't expecting that in a Marvel movie, but hats off. But so eventually they get to the end of the void area, which is just basically towards Bob's memories, where they all come into contact with the void. And so Bob and the void face off against each other. And it looks like Bob's getting the upper hand, like he's going to beat the void to death. And everyone starts to realize, like, oh, no, that's what the void wants. It is darkness. It wants Bob to go to that dark place. So what they end up doing is they try to get him to stop, like, hey, don't succumb to, all this badness in you. And yeah, they kind of all surround him and embrace him in a big hug, which may seem a little schmaltzy, but in this, what you see, just like the pain that Bob is in, I thought it was nice. It was really sweet. That's basically how they defeat the void. They are able to escape. The shadow is lifted, and everything starts to go back to normal. All the people that were cast into shadows are brought back. So the Thunderbolts, they find Valentina. They go to capture her. She tricks them into walking into a press conference like right around the corner, where she introduces the team as the new Avengers. So yeah, that's what the asterisk was all about. I feel like I saw it coming from a mile away that they were going to say something like, yeah, it's a name change. I'm pretty sure everyone saw it coming from a mile away that it was going to be an obvious name change. That, yeah, it's not, the Thunderbolts isn't going to stick. It's going to be something else. But yeah, it's the new Avengers. So there are 2 end credits. There's a mid-credit with Alexei in a supermarket standing next to a lady trying to pick out a cereal, and he sees a box of Wheaties with him and his team on the box. And he's just trying to goad the lady into grabbing the Wheaties, just like, hey, look at right here, huh? Look at, you know who this is? These are good. And the lady's just wanting none of it, kind of like most of us at a supermarket when random strangers try to talk. She's just like, oh crap, I got to get out of here, away from this guy. But the second, this is the post-credit scene. It has the new Avengers entering Avengers Tower at the very top. This is their new base of operation. We learn from context that Sam Wilson isn't happy that there is another Avengers team, because I guess he has his own Avengers team. One is government sanctioned, that being these new Avengers, and the other one, I guess, just follows by their own rules. But they're talking, and we see Bob is still with them. He's not the Sentry. He doesn't do the Sentry or powers or anything of that nature, because he's afraid if he does, then the void will come back out. So he's just like, I'll just hang back, I'll do the dishes and stuff, but I don't need to be using my superpowers, because I don't need that guy coming back out. So while they're talking, they get a distress beacon saying that there's an unknown spacecraft entering our dimension. And they pull up a satellite feed, and what we see is a very pointy, very familiar looking spacecraft with a big blue number 4 painted on it. That's right. The Fantastic Four have now entered the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I could not be happier. I am so pumped and excited for Fantastic Four now. I wasn't that much. I mean, of course I was going to go see it, and I was happy for it, but this kind of has me feeling like I'm gearing up, like I'm super hyped for the next movie. And I am. So yeah, it's the Fantastic Four spacecraft has now entered into the MCU. which I'm guessing means that they've left their reality. Maybe Galactus destroyed their Earth. I don't know. This we'll find out. July couldn't come fast enough. But anyways, that is it for my terrible review of The Thunderbolts. What a good movie. If you can, go watch it in theaters. It's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of funny moments. It's got a lot of touching moments. It's got action. It's got everything that does the body good. Is that the Wheaties slogan? I don't know. But yeah, this has been a delight, and it did something that Marvel movies haven't done for me in a long time. It made me excited for the next chapter of Marvel. I feel like this was a great addition into the Marvel universe. Like, this movie actually fits, belongs, and is putting together a story of what is the MCU. It's about freaking time. So anyways, that is it for me. Hopefully I'll see you guys again soon. That was awful.